Hey everyone, my name is Reese Stevenson, here with Modiphius to teach you how to play Elder Scrolls Call to Arms. In this video, we'll be covering the attack action. Elder Scrolls Call to Arms has three different attack actions: melee, ranged, and spells. When a model is in base contact with an enemy model, they are considered engaged. They may perform a melee attack or cast a spell as long as they have the appropriate weapon and spell equipped. Let's take a look at melee attacks first. In this example, the Dragonborn is equipped with a steel sword and is going to perform an attack action. They must take an attribute skill test to see if their attack is successful. When taking a skill test, the player will roll a white skill dice, along with any other dice from the item or ability the model is using. In this case, the Dragonborn will add a green and 2 yellow dice from the steel sword to the dice pool for this roll. The Dragonborn also has a special ability called Banish the Wicked, which will add another yellow dice to the roll whenever they are attacking an undead enemy. This Draugr is undead, so they get the yellow dice. Now, the steel sword uses the single hand skill, so this is the test the Dragonborn is taking. So the Dragonborn must score under a 5 to pass the test. Next, the player decides if they want to spend stamina points to boost their melee action. Melee attacks can be boosted in two different ways. One stamina point can be spent to turn the attack into a power attack. This will add a yellow dice to the dice pool, and if the enemy takes any damage, they will be staggered. Now, the Dragonborn already has 3 yellow dice in their dice pool, and in Elder Scrolls Call to Arms, there is the rule of 3, where no more than 3 of the same color dice can be in one roll. Now, the Dragonborn can still boost the attack, it just won't get another yellow, but if they deal damage, the enemy will be staggered. A stamina can also be spent to turn the attack into a precision strike. This will add a green dice to the dice pool. Green dice don't add any damage potential to the roll, they just make the chances of success higher. Now, a player can add as many boosts to an attack as they want as long as they have the required stamina, but you can't do the same boost more than once on an attack, so you can't double up on your accuracy boost to add multiple green dice. So let's take a look at this example of an attack. The Dragonborn has an extra green dice from boosting the attack to a precision strike. They rolled a 10, but with the help of the accuracy dice, were able to get down to a 5, which means they passed the test and the attack is successful, and they scored 2 hits. Because of the steel sword, they will immediately recover 1 stamina from this helmet icon. Now the Draugr Overlord will make a defense roll. Their armor gives them 2 yellow dice for their dice pool. They do not have a block token, so this is it. They only rolled 1 pip, so they will only block 1 incoming damage, so they will take 1 damage. If a model is equipped with a ranged weapon, they may perform a ranged attack. They take the same steps as a melee attack, except they must pass the correlating range skill test. They will also add different dice to the dice pool depending on which range they are at. For example, this hunting bow has a short range of 10 inches where it will get a green and red dice. At its long range of 20 inches, it gets a green and yellow. Range attacks only have 1 boost, and that is the aimed shot, which adds a green accuracy dice. If the model has a spell equipped, they may cast a spell. Models must spend magicka to cast a spell. Here is the amount of magicka a model starts with. Just like stamina, they will gain 1 magicka back at the beginning of their next activation. They may boost a spell by spending extra magicka, which is different from spell to spell. For example, on Flames, you can spend extra magicka to add yellow dice to your dice pool. This number is the limit, so you can spend up to 2 extra magicka points, gaining 1 yellow dice per magicka spent. This is how much magicka it costs to cast a spell. And this is the targeting type the spell uses. This specific type is called a hybrid attack. It shows a symbol for a range attack and a melee attack overlapping, meaning it can be used as a melee or range attack. This is its range. Spells will also have a difficulty. That is this number shown here. You add this to your white skill roll. Flames is an easy spell, so you get a -2 every time you roll. The model will then, once again, need to pass the correlating skill test. So the Dragonborn will need to pass a destruction spell test, which falls under its intelligence. And that wraps up the basics of attack actions. Thanks for watching. The core box also comes with the Escape from Helgen tutorial booklet, where players will play through a mini campaign that introduces all the basics. It's a great place to start. Also make sure to check out the other tutorial videos for Elder Scrolls Call to Arms.